Hello and welcome to Recharge Wrestling. We're here to plug you into the world of professional wrestling. I'm Fisher and I'm here for a special video today for AEW All Out. If you haven't seen our videos in this week, we've got so much content. We've got a Clash at the Castle preview podcast with the three of us on there. We've got predictions for Clash at the Castle with all three of us on there. But I thought I would do we can't leave out All Out. It's a massive show. We are leaving out NXT World's Globe, which is too much. But yeah, I'm going to do a preview, all the matches, give my quick predictions as well whilst I'm here for All Out this weekend. Big show, loads of matches to get into, so I'm not going to waste too much time. But yeah, like and subscribe on this if you haven't already. Just going to set that fan off there just in case it interrupts the sound a little bit. Yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us at Recharge Wrestle on Twitter to join in to give your predictions, or comment below in the YouTube comments. Up to you. But yeah, let's get into the card. So there's 3 matches announced for the pre-show. It's going to be a long old show, All Out. Probably too long. That's my main criticism of AEW pay-per-views is they're very lengthy. But you know, that's the way they do things. It may well change, but they like to get as many people as possible on the card. Pre-show matches: Tomohiro Ishii versus Eddie Kingston. This is, I believe, a rematch from a show that a match they had in Japan. Obviously, Eddie Kingston was originally meant to feud with Sammy Guevara. They had a real-life altercation, which put a halt to that feud, unfortunately. And that's meant that this match is happening instead. Little to no interest in it, if I'm being honest. It's on the pre-show, so it's a bit of fun, I suppose. It'll be a decent match. Ishii's appeared in AEW a few times. He's a good wrestler. Kingston, is loved. I don't see the point in Ishii winning this, so surely Kingston's going to win. That's my prediction. Not a lot else to say about it, to be honest with you. Hook versus Angelo Parker, who did a little video promo challenging Hook here. That's really all the build has been so far. Obviously, this is recorded going out before Rampage, so there may be more matches added. There may also be more angles that I haven't talked about for these matches yet. I know a couple of them have got advertised segments for tonight, actually, but I'm just doing this before Rampage. So, yeah, I can't see Hook losing his title to Angelo Parker. That would be nonsensical. Why would he want what would he do with the FCW title? It doesn't make any sense. Hook is a bit of a star, brewing underneath at the moment, kind of not pushed out at top level, but keep him strong, keep him winning. Pac versus Kip Sabian is the other one. Bit unlucky maybe not to make the main card this one. This one has actually got a bit of interest to it. It's for the All Atlantic Championship, which hasn't been booked great so far on AEW TV since he won it. Pac hasn't done much with it, but this should be a really interesting match. I've said on previous podcasts, they seem to be using the UK guys a lot with this, which is kind of cool. And Kip coming back is great. Like him, liked the box gimmick thing, obviously the decoy he used last week. All good stuff. And Pac versus Kip Sabian should be a good match, but I don't see Kip winning here. I think. Let's see. Sorry about that. I had to pause the recording for a second, but yeah. So I've gone for Pac to win on that one. Bryan Danielson versus Chris Jericho. That's one of the big matches on the card. This one has been a decent feud, but I do think the feud between the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club has gone on way too long in general, to be honest. And yeah, it's kind of lost my interest a little bit. But what I do like about this feud is the Daniel Garcia factor in it, where who's he going to side with? His hero, Bryan Danielson, who was mentor in AEW, and Chris Jericho. So that makes it quite interesting. And I think it's a tough one to predict, but I'm going to go for Bryan to win, and I think Garcia is going to side with Bryan and either help him or congratulate him afterwards or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to go for Bryan to win. This has been a decent feud, like I say, but I do hope this is the complete end now to the Danielson-Jericho feud. We even got Danielson versus Hager on Dynamite, which I guess is a good enough setup match, but yeah, not ideal that this feud's gone on this long. Interim Women's World Championship match, fatal 4-way. Obviously, Thunder Rosa's had to drop the title, and they've put the 4 most sort of obvious women available in the match. They used the same people a lot. Obviously, Toni Storm was meant to have the match originally. Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, who's always involved with Hikaru Shida, another former champion. Yeah, I've not been a fan of the way they've really gone about this, to be honest. The promo that Thunder Rosa had 45 seconds to sort of explain it. I think the booking of women is a bit of a problem in AEW. But I think it makes sense for Toni Storm to win the title. I think she was going to beat Thunder Rosa for it anyway, so I think just put the title on her, and then you can have Rosa versus Storm when you come back. Obviously, they were friends before, so you can have Rosa be a bit annoyed with her, something, and you can win it that way. And I think maybe you're going to see the implosion of Hayter and Baker here because they're fighting each other essentially in this match, so that makes it kind of interesting, I suppose. But yeah, I don't see Baker or Shida winning because they've had the titles before, and I don't think they need them again. House of Black versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro. That's a bit of a random teaming. Miro versus with Allin and Sting. I don't know here. House of Black have been poorly booked in the last couple of weeks. Darby Allin and Sting seem to win a lot in bigger matches. Miro, I'm torn on who's going to win it. I've said I don't too much of a build to it, other than obviously Miro's stuff with House of Black was interesting. Thought he was going to maybe join them and then went against them. And Darby and Sting have been feuding with them for ages. I'm going to go for the faces to win, I think, in Darby, Allin, Sting, and Miro, but I'm not 100% sure on this at all. TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Athena. Now, this is one of the matches where they're doing a segment tonight on Rampage. And this is a hard one to predict, actually, because Jade Cargill has obviously been super dominant in AEW to the point where, like, she's won 30-odd matches in a row. No one, she's beaten everyone who's come for her. You think has got a chance of taking the title off of her along the way. But Athena is someone that they could put that title on. And maybe it's time to really make a statement in this women's division, actually do something different and push some different people. So maybe they're going to put the title on Athena. And I'm actually going to go for Athena to win this match. Feud's been okay. Obviously, it's been involving the baddies and Statlander and other people. But the one-on-one match really is the big match here between the two of them. Jungle Boy versus Christian Cage. This is a feud I've enjoyed. I think Christian's been brilliant since he turned heel. And what I really liked the other day was the sit-down interview with Jim Ross, I think it was. And Jungle Boy basically said he's not fighting Jungle Boy, he's fighting Jack Perry, which I like. I think Jungle Boy needs to transition from that name and that gimmick because I think it can limit him long term. It's been fine up till now because he is quite young and did look like a child when he first joined AEW, but he's not anymore. So I think actually transitioning into sort of Jack Perry rather than Jungle Boy makes sense. I also think he's going to win this match because what does Christian gain from not putting over the younger talent? I think Jungle Boy should win. So yeah, I'm going to go for Jungle Boy to win. And like I say, this has been a feud I've enjoyed. I think they've been building this to this one-on-one match for quite a while, and they've done it fairly well. They haven't overbooked, like put them in tag matches and things like that. They've done well. Luchasaurus could obviously be a factor in the match, but they haven't been shown in much on TV recently, which is interesting. Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Gun. So they've brought in an outside tag team. They always bring in outside talent to these shows, which some people like, some people don't. I'm not particularly fussed, but I do think it's a better match than having sort of Jay Lethal with Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt or something, which is the other option. So I'm for it. Alex Shelley, I know quite well from his previous stuff. So yeah, this will be a decent match, but I wish Wardlow was doing something a little bit different, to be honest. I think him since he's been booked and won that title, they've kind of missed it. He was really hot and he was really getting loads of wins and a big push, but it feels like it's kind of stalled a little bit, and now he's in a six-man sort of thing. And same with FTR to an extent as well, although they're still massively over with the fans. I would like to see them in a bit of a bigger feud. But I think Wardlow and FTR win this. I think Motor City Machine Guns have come in to take the loss. The match will be good, but yeah, they'll win. Casino ladder match. Claudio Castagnoli, Luigi Yuta, Penta, Phoenix, Roosh, Andrade, Dante Martin, and the Joker, whoever that will be. I have no idea on this match. I'm really giving it any thought. The build the other day, really good four-way on Dynamite, but there hasn't been any real interaction between this. What's interesting in this is there's two sort of proper tag teams in this. Penta and Phoenix are in there, and Roosh and Andrade are in there, who obviously team together. And, well, three actually, because you've got Claudio and Wheeler Yuta both from the Blackpool Combat Club as well. So there's going to be a lot of teaming up in this match, which I think is going to eliminate most of those people. Utah's already got a belt. Claudio's already got a belt. Obviously, they get a title shot if they win. I think whoever the Joker is may come in and win this, and I don't know who that's going to be. It could be MJF or someone. I don't think that would be a bad way to bring it back, because if the main event goes how I think it's going to go, I think that would work pretty well, actually. So I'm going to go for whoever the Joker is to win, because none of the others make that much sense to me. World Tag Team Championships, Swerve in Our Glory versus The Acclaimed. I've been saying for ages that The Acclaimed should get a title shot because they've become really popular. Swerve in Our Glory are great as well. Obviously brilliant in the ring. Haven't had the titles that long. Do they have them drop them here? I don't know. I would have The Acclaimed have a run for the titles. But I don't know how it's going to go. I'm going to predict The Acclaimed. I don't know why, but yeah. Not really a heated feud, but should be a really good match. Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I'd forgotten this was happening. Yeah, this is decent stuff. I think Hobbs turning on Starks was the right move. Starks turning into a proper babyface, and Hobbs being like a dominant heel. Who should win though? Because Hobbs, could do with that solo moment, but I think Starks is the bigger star out of the two here and the one with the most potential, if I'm being honest. I'm going to go for Starks to win, but I think we could get multiple matches between these two. But it wouldn't surprise me if Hobbs won, because they do need to build someone else as a big heel. You could do Hobbs versus Wardlow down the line, sort of Clash of the Titans type thing. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to go for Starks to win. The Trios Tournament Finals, which is obviously the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, versus either the Dark Order or Best Friends. That's going to be decided tonight on Rampage. So that's not one we can be 100% sure who's taking part in the match yet, but I'm going to predict it regardless and say the Elite are winning, because I can't see them losing. I think they waited to bring these trio titles back for when Kenny was not injured, and that would be what would be the point of that if they're not winning the tournament? And I think the Elite winning it makes the most sense. They're the strongest team out of three. Hangman Page has agreed to team with the Dark Order after Evil Ono got attacked by Andrade on Dynamite, so that makes the Dark Order slightly stronger. And obviously, Hangman turned down the Elite, so I think Dark Order beat Best Friends tonight, and Hangman Page will be the deciding factor in that. And then we get Page, Silver, and Reynolds versus the Elite, and the Elite win. Possibly with Hangman turning on the Dark Order, but I don't think so. I don't think they'll bother doing that. I think it'll just be a straight up match. The match, by the way, between the Elite and Will Ospreay and Aussie Open was a cracker on Dynamite. Will Ospreay is so good. Really enjoyed that. That was brilliant stuff. And yeah, that was a really good way to end Dynamite and set this up. But we'll see what happens tonight. And then the World Championship match is the main event between Jon Moxley and CM Punk. Now, the build to this has been a bit funny because obviously the squash match last week, I spoke about it. I didn't really like it, but I said I'll give it a chance to see where it's going. Moxley come out at the start of Dynamite, really good, passionate promo from him, offered an open contract to someone, face someone All Out. Didn't know who it was going to be, but I did suspect it was. I'd heard online it was probably still going to be Punk in the main event. And it was Punk because he comes out later on, and I love what happened here. His promo at the start was kind of lame. I was like, okay, this is just like, he's talking to the fans and stuff, has a random dig at one of them. But then once what was the guy called? I can't even remember his name. I'm going to have to look it up. The producer guy who come out with his friend comes out. That promo then got brilliant. Yeah, that was really good. And he basically fires Punk up, makes him remember who he is. Sorry. And then Punk accepts the challenge. And I thought that part of the promo was absolutely fantastic. I built the match really well. And now we're getting Punk versus Moxley one more time. And I think CM Punk wins here. They told the story of Punk being injured, obviously, last week. But I think he overcomes that and wins the title back here, setting up him versus MJF one more time. And then he will put MJF over and MJF will win the title. Whether that's through the Casino Ladder match, where MJF will come back as the Joker, or MJF returns at the end of the show, like lays Punk out or something. Something like that will happen, I think. But yeah, I thought the build's been a bit messy, but I really enjoyed it again this week. I thought they pulled it back together. And I'm expecting maybe 1 or 2 more matches to be added. Like, that's 14 apparently. I've predicted 14 matches there. I got through that a lot quicker than I expected. But yeah, looking forward to the show. Crazy wrestling weekend coming up. Like I say, follow us on Twitter at @RechargeWrestle. Leave your predictions there when I put them up underneath this video probably. And I'll speak to you soon. We'll have Clash of the Castle footage coming up over the weekend, clips from there, a little video log thing coming up as well. And then we'll be reviewing that when we return, either Sunday or Monday, probably. Yeah, goodbye.